This is 4th grade Social Studies, Standard 2, Objective 3. In this standard, you'll investigate the development of the economy in Utah. The standards are highlighted in red, and below that you'll find some websites. Next to those websites, you'll find a quick summary of how that website can help you teach the standards above. I'm going to walk you through a brief overview of this section. The first website is basic information that will help students build a background and vocabulary to help them understand supply and demand. The second website is a quick graph that will help students understand and visualize how supply and demand can change when the price of an item changes. This can be useful at the beginning or at the end of the lesson. The third website is the game Lemonade Stand. There are several versions of this. This version I found to be simple, but feel free if you find one that you prefer to use that. This is a great way for students to be able to learn the depth of supply and demand as well as the producer and the consumer. In this, you can do it for your class or you can have them work on it together. In this simulation, they can learn how to produce lemonade. They have to choose the recipe as well as purchase items for it. They will also have to consider the consumer, what makes them happy, and also the temperature of the day and how that affects how they can sell. This is a great way for students to understand supply and demand as well as the roles of producers and consumers. This next website is an article that's written about the Nintendo Wii. It's good because the students will be able to relate to it. It talks about supply and demand. When the Wii was introduced, the supply was low and the demand was high. This article explains how, because of that, the Wii was selling for upward of $750. Have students evaluate how, as the producer, this could affect them, or as the consumer, this could affect them. The next standard, identify examples of producers and consumers in the local community. This comes with a downloadable version of Utah's largest employers. Students can evaluate different businesses they can identify with and how many employees work with them. Have the students look at businesses they recognize and talk about how those have affected them in their lives. Students can discuss which businesses they recognize and maybe even identify with how they have used them and how life would be like if they were not here in Utah.